troubleshooting. Faith episode 9, connection restored. Main scripture, John 15:4-5. Abide in me and I in you, for without me ye can do nothing. Sometimes we spend so much time asking God to fix our problems that we forget the greatest miracle is not the problem being solved. The greatest miracle is the relationship being restored. Jesus never said your strength would come from trying harder. He never said your peace would come from working harder. He never said your purpose would come from chasing success. He said, abide in me. The word abide means to remain, to stay connected, to continue dwelling, to refuse to disconnect when life becomes difficult. Many believers think faith is about visiting God's presence. Jesus says faith is about living there. There is a difference. You can visit someone and still not know them, but when you remain with them, their nature begins influencing yours. That is why Jesus compares us to branches. A branch does not struggle to produce fruit. It simply stays connected to the vine. The fruit is the evidence of the connection. If there is no fruit, Jesus does not tell the branch to work harder. He tells it to remain, because disconnected people spend their lives trying to manufacture what only connection can produce. You cannot manufacture peace. You receive it. You cannot manufacture joy. You receive it. You cannot manufacture spiritual strength. You receive it. Everything flows from the vine. The enemy understands this. That is why his greatest strategy is not always to make you stop believing. It is to slowly disconnect you. He distracts you until prayer becomes occasional. He fills your schedule until God's presence becomes an afterthought. He convinces you that activity is the same as intimacy. Before long, you still know scripture, you still attend church, you still serve, but your connection has weakened. And when connection weakens, everything else begins losing power. Your discernment becomes dull, your worship becomes routine, your faith becomes fragile, not because God moved, but because distance has developed. The beautiful thing about Jesus is this: he never moves away from us. When the connection weakens, it is never because the vine stopped supplying life. It is because the branch stopped abiding. But here is the good news: connection can be restored. Peter denied Jesus 3 times, yet Jesus restored the relationship. The prodigal son walked away from his father, yet the father was waiting with open arms. Why? Because God's desire has always been restoration, not perfection. Restoration. Some of you have spent months trying to get back to where you used to be spiritually. God is saying, I'm not taking you back. I'm bringing you closer than you've ever been. Because restoration in God's kingdom is never just recovery. It is advancement. Sometimes God allows the disconnect to reveal what you depended on more than Him. Your gifts, your title, your ministry, your reputation, your relationships. Then He lovingly removes every substitute until all that remains is Him. Because when Christ becomes enough, everything else finds its proper place. Jesus says, without me, you can do nothing. Notice He did not say, without me, you can do a little. He said, nothing. Not because He wants to pin us out of weakness, but because He created us to live from His life, not our own strength. The greatest evidence that your connection has been restored is not louder worship. It is quieter trust. You stop forcing doors open. You stop chasing validation. You stop striving for what only God can provide. You simply remain. You abide. And the fruit comes naturally. Peace begins returning. Joy begins returning. Clarity begins returning. Strength begins returning. Not because life suddenly became easy, but because the connection has been restored. God is not merely restoring your prayer life. He is restoring your awareness of His presence. He is restoring your confidence in His voice. He is restoring your dependence upon His Spirit, because connected people do not panic the same way. Connected people do not interpret every delay as denial. Connected people Know that even in silence, the vine is still supplying life. You may not see fruit today, but if you remain connected, life is still flowing, healing is still flowing, wisdom is still flowing, strength is still flowing, hope is still flowing. Do not measure your connection by your feelings. Measure it by your willingness to remain, because feelings change. The vine never does. Stay connected, stay surrendered, stay dependent, because everything you've been searching for has always been flowing from the source. Final episode, faith running at full capacity. Until then, think about this. God never intended for your faith to merely survive. He designed it to thrive. When your connection is restored, your faith no longer operates from fear, exhaustion, or performance. It begins operating from the overflow of His presence. And when you live from the source, you no longer struggle to carry life. Life begins carrying you.